Hello! Yes, it is I. And we are here with our first energy reading today. I think I'm a little nervous about it, mostly because I haven't done a reading in a while, and to find the right terms to translate everything, you know, it's just, yeah, we'll see what's going on. It's going to be great.
Subscribe.
So, a few kinks, of course. Always crazy party back here, right? Let's see what's happening. Hello. Yes, this is an introduction as well as our first reading for the energy reading. So I give readings like cards, and then I give readings like energy. Wow! And this is the energy one. I have a few questions. Dorine filled out the form on the website, openandclear.com. You go down to the contact page and click a button that references to the energy reading. Or you could just click the link down below. I'm sure it's going to be available there if I'm doing my job correctly. How's it going, guys? So, what is an energy reading? So often, and especially before my travels and during my travels, before my death experience, I should say, I focused a lot on energy practices, like became a Reiki master just after massage therapy school, and started seeing this transcendent kind of world, or transparent kind of world and people. And so essentially it's kind of interesting because if you've heard of meridians, you know, like those are the points along the highways. They're like highways along your body, which acupuncture and pressure, which I also learned, it goes along the meridians, the pressure points they call them, and all these wonderful things, and chakras and auras and all of these different ideas of what energy is. I know my enthusiasm is kind of down today. I'm whining. But I'm here and I'm doing it. Anyway, you actually see these things. And there's like this transparent essence of the body. It's like this bluish kind of a deal. I am actually developing and teaching classes. So if you're seeing this in the future, we might have those classes available by that point. But we're teaching classes. The first one is called Evoking Spirit, and it consists of seeing the spiritual universe, hearing it, smelling it, tasting it, thinking with it, and communing with it, and so on. You know, all the senses and the 7 different frequencies. So, as far as what I'm doing with Dorine, as much as I'm using some intuitive guidance in the whole spectrum of things, you actually can see this energetic manifestation. Now, I said before my death experience, and because it's actually was my dedication through and before my death experience to experience and see this spiritual essence of the universe, which I should have a more, you know, I could do something really cool, but this is crazy background right now. This is crazy energy. Anyway, I was dedicating my life to it and wanting to transcend the world, wanting to see it, wanting to experience it. And so I was dedicated and I was determined. And that's, I did and was doing it until I call it my death experience, but I was transcending just time and space entirely, instead of just little glimpses or seeing things here and there. You can contest, a few people throughout my travels could contest to you that I would mention that there's a lot of colors flying around, and at certain points they would they said that, without using names, I would say, whoa, what was that? Flying orange, something rather black, and this or that. And, referencing to them, like, stop throwing those colors at me, and so on. And, as much as I'm tooting my own horn, the idea here is it usually went with thoughts they had. And that's the thing about all this energy work is that it is directed, all energy is directed by your consciousness in the same sense as your hands are directed by your consciousness. And the thing is like the emotions you feel are a sense of this movement as well, that when you have emotions, you are actually experiencing the movement of this. Now it's all aspects of your consciousness that it is reflecting. So we need to understand that this whole reading is only relatable because your consciousness identifies with the symbolism of the words and the colors and the shapes and so on, that hopefully my consciousness is translating correctly, right? To make it possible for you to understand it and relate it together and join together. But it, like, even if I just start, like, I would mention, like, oh, what's with the orange, flying orange, shooting orange at me today? What does orange actually mean? It means nothing to someone that doesn't have the interpretation factor of what, say, that color is actually about. So I need to stop that. It agrees. You need the interpretation factor. So that's something that is like a dictionary. You need an ability to translate what you see, smell, hear, and so on and experience. That even like a dream, you're seeing things, but if you don't translate the things you see and experience, then you have no idea on earth what in that crap it's talking about. I had a dream where a cow swallowed a human whole, like a panther snake, and it's like, what is that? Anaconda and a cow. Anyway, and what does that mean? Like, we need to take it and translate it. So here, I am not so much in this specific series giving you the symbolism and translation, but in my signs and symbols and my medical intuition one as well, those are more of an encyclopedia dictionary of specific terms, so it's there, so subscribe. But we're actually going to be attempting to getting into Dorine today and actually interpreting and seeing what she is. And now I'm not live right this moment, which is a little weird, okay? So I'm not actually completely this is the weird part about it. It's like, usually you have the person to work with. I'm going to make a lot of assumptions in this, okay, Dorine? I'm going to make a lot of assumptions instead of... So I could make one wrong choice and just go completely off, like saying it has to do with the fact that you would be a good teacher. Okay, so she has a specific question. Let me summarize that. She has a specific question about energy. She says there's wild, untamed, uncharted energy around her heart, and it's true. In the sense, untamed or unchanneled or something is excellent word for it. So she has this type of energy that she would actually be a very good teacher, in the sense of being able to guide or help people and explain things to people, which means people would be what is with that phone? Huh? What is with you? Why are you making so much noise today? Turn that off. And you can actually see that the thing about it is that when I mentioned about energy is directed or moved by consciousness, is in this sense that what you're actually believing about yourself then is reflected in energy, and then that's manifest as physical. Okay, so it's a holy spiritual universe. And so what you believe about yourself usually has some sort of blockage that's keeping you from allowing that energy to move. Okay, or as you said, the untamed, the good words I had a moment ago, and what that actually means is a belief about yourself that is literally reflected in the energy and keeping it happening in that fashion. Now, you have some years on you, and I mean that in the most gentlest way. And the idea here is that if you actually wanted the change and wanted the change, you would have to actually change what you believe about yourself. So it's something pretty intense. Usually we hold on to it for years and years and years, and we don't even know. Like, I have a specific way of my being, my person, right now, that I may or may not be acting in the same fashion that I have my entire life. And there's things, of course, are characteristics of my person that are required of me to be like me, even just talking like me. So these things are beliefs or definitions of my person, okay? Then those beliefs and definitions of my person are manifest in my energy. So this is why astrologers and readings and stuff can actually pinpoint, even like DNA is a manifestation of the energy. It is really close to it, but of what you're prone to naturally manifest in the type of person in which you are. So I'm actually not really looking at your body. I'm not really looking at your energy. I'm looking at your beliefs and definitions of yourself. I have your picture up here. Then I'm actually seeing the definitions of yourself now translated, hopefully, properly, by my little consciousness. And I need to pick out intuitively and stuff what definitions make sense and trying to comprehend it and express it. And then you have to interpret it and make sense out of it and associate to it or disassociate to it or not. So to quickly sum it up, in which we're going to get into it more, of what I see that untamed, uncharted, is that right? Energy in that space is actually that it's not a blockage here. That you have a very big heart. You are very gentle. You are a very gentle, loving person. But what hasn't happened is the expression of it hasn't. So it's like that's why unchanneled. That's a good word. It's not channeled right. It's not brought out. It doesn't have a spout or a spouse. Now, in that sense, having a sense of expression, which I'm sure when you do have that's why probably you said it comes on and off for years now, right? You've had your chance or your time in which you don't have that energy. You don't feel it kind of swirling in there, kind of stuck, right? Because you actually have been letting it out. You've been in a place of creativity, a place of expression, a place of romance, possibly, or love. So in like that creativity, it's very helpful. I think of a lot of poetry, possibly music, with you, and in a sense that I feel like you're at your highest point in your life, and you can go on and off of it. And the same is when you feel like there's actually someone you have been guiding or teaching. Now, in that sense, have you been helping anybody in that same way lately? Maybe you feel like, so there's two options here. Maybe you feel like someone hasn't been leaning on you for that teaching essence lately, and so it's kind of been building up. And or you haven't felt like you've had that ability to express, or a place, a safe place, or even just a creative place to express that. Now, the other aspect of what this expression is about is that how sweet and gentle you are. You also don't want to do it in the wrong place. You don't want to do it in the wrong time. You don't want to do it with the wrong people. You want to be very, this is what you believe about yourself, and you've been doing it your whole life. So in that sense of where and what that blockage is that you want to be this freely spoken, expressive person that is helping and teaching others, and yet you keep stopping yourself because of these little beliefs. These stopping yourselves things are the blockage to that, what's the word, the bursting, the channeling of that energy. So it actually wants to go up, okay? So you want it to go up, and it comes from the sense of dealing with relationships. That's why I think has a lot to do with teaching and guiding or helping someone. Possibly, children aren't reliant on you at this time as they did or have been. And I'm sure throughout the phases of their lives, even as teenagers, they're not quite leaning on you anymore or something. I'm sure if you found the pattern in your life, you can actually see where this energy has come and gone, is right hand in hand related to how you feel you are being, that people are leaning on you, relying on you for your insight and, say, intuition. And you feel loved when you feel heard. And that you want to talk and share, and you feel like possibly, you're not being heard right now. And it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just it has no real place to go. Like, it wants to come out. And you might be searching, you might be looking for places of expression. You might not. And in that sense, if you're not, then it's more so, and that's what's the thing about the left side, is that you're more so trying to find the solution within yourself, opposed to coming out of yourself. And this is something about your gentle generator energy, including myself, that if I don't do programs like this, if I'm not out here expressing myself, I'm not sharing, allowing this out, I'm going crazy. Literally. Like mine is more so coming from my head and trying to get out of my mouth. And with this thing is like, if I'm not getting it out of my mouth, it's just circling. I'm going crazy, literally. So it's required of me and my specific energy to be a conduit and an expression of this energy. And you, as I am speaking in a specific fashion to hopefully getting the message across to you, that it is very important for you for multiple reasons, but specifically what your energy is, and there's a lot more to yourself as well, specifically about this issue. You are meant to express. You are meant to share. And this is stuck because you're either hesitant, summing it up a little bit, you're either hesitant about it for some reason, or you don't feel like it's going to work out for you, or you don't have that specific solution. You might be hesitant, thinking about it now. You might be hesitant because you feel like you don't have enough knowledge about the specific subject, maybe spirituality. And the thing is that's totally wrong. That is completely wrong. You believe that about yourself, that you don't have enough knowledge. It's not knowledge that needs expression here. It is love. and create. That's the thing about creativity, which I keep seeing paintings, artwork, and paintings, and just, it doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to make shapes out of it. You don't have to actually make objects. You just get it out. You just express it somehow. You just paint it some way. You just put the colors on the canvas. It can be abstract. It doesn't matter. And try to channel that. Try to focus on what that feels like. Maybe that, if you're feeling the painting thing, go to the store. If you don't have any paints, get this paper or a small canvas. Paper warps with the paint, but canvas. And anybody out there, if you're feeling something that's stuck, grab a few colors that represent that energy and attempt to make just a blob, a swirl, a shapy thingy, a randomness of what that energy feels like. Because just like how you're an embodiment, you're a full embodiment of what this, I feel like I need to be heard. I feel loved when I'm heard. So does this energy. So express the energy, and it's hand in hand with you. So even though this is just the beginning of what needs to be done, and a beginning of how to assist in getting this out, you'll start making sense out of it, and possibly, if painting doesn't feel like it's doing it, you can do it a few times, or try different creative expressions. Writing poetry, you can send it all to me. You can let me any of the artwork. If you want someone to share it with, send it to me. Submit it to me. That'd be great. I would love to see it. If it's singing, I would love to hear it. If it's what else? Any of it, anything. If it's sculpting, let me hear it. Let me see it. I want it. All right. I want to see your work, and maybe we'll make a website for it for everybody out there that wants to do it. Now I have to make a form to submit it. Love my forms. So if you want a reading, if you want assistance with anything, please be sure to fill out the form at openandclear.com. Go down to the contact page, or hopefully the link down below within this this thing. But yeah, subscribe, and hopefully I helped with that, Dorine, and perhaps if you have any more questions, please feel free to send them my way.